Howdy folks, I'm Genial Gollum, good-naturedly gabbing with gyrating giants.
I'm Amber.
And here are more gyrating giants for us to watch? I don't know, this sounds really weird. So let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Wanting to Insure the Necklace That My Husband Got Me? This one has been on my mind this last week, and I couldn't help but post it. About a month ago, my husband bought me this beautiful gold necklace for my birthday. It's very simple, but super elegant. One of those pieces that you instantly fall in love with, or at least I did, and it was very thoughtful of him. The thing is this, it's also pretty valuable. I've had jewelry stolen before, and I've lost smaller pieces over the years, like a ring at the gym or earrings on a vacation. So this time I thought, why not insure it? It's not about expecting something bad to happen, just about being smart in case something does. Well, when I mentioned to him, he got super defensive. He says that it takes away from the meaning and that by insuring it, I am treating his gift like an object rather than something special. I told him that it is literally the opposite. I want to protect it because it is special to me. That conversation didn't really go well, and I've brought it up about 2 times more, and his expression changes instantly. I have no idea why he would react that way. Now I feel very bad. I didn't mean to offend him at all. I just wanted peace of mind. So am I the jerk for wanting to insure the necklace my husband gave me? All right, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. And my guess is that the necklace is probably not as valuable as he's pretending it is.
Yeah, it probably isn't. I mean, that's the only explanation I can see. I think his excuse is kind of flimsy here. Maybe he feels that way, and maybe like that is truly the case. But if, I don't know, it kind of feels more like, oh, don't get this insured because I don't want you to find out that it's a $80 necklace when I told you it's a $1,200 necklace.
Yeah, and so my because again, there's no good reason not to insure jewelry if it is valuable. Because like Opie said, you can lose pieces accidentally. It is important to, have some kind of recompense in that case.
Yeah, or get stolen.
Yeah.
Or any number of things can happen, right? I think getting jewelry insured is generally a wise idea, and I don't think there's anything wrong with OP suggesting this. I would have OP talk with their partner and find out why they feel so. Well, I mean, I guess they did. His answer is, it takes away from the specialness. Maybe OP should go and get it appraised just in case, and then without insuring it, and then if it turns out that it is super expensive, then maybe OP insures it behind his back. If it isn't expensive, then maybe OP just quietly not do anything. I don't know. I guess it depends on how important it is to have expensive jewelry for OP. And it might be that he has seen her lose jewelry in the past, and so he's a little uncomfortable with giving her like an expensive piece of jewelry, and so he's just given her like a costume piece.
But if he does that, like, he should be honest about it.
Agreed.
I don't like if there's deception going on here, that is not cool.
Exactly. I don't think he should be deceiving her if he is. It could just be a weird quirk. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And whatever Forever F's Chicks says, is there any possibility that it could be fake? And J. Ray Holes says it's fake or OP's husband is dumb. 50-50 as to which one it is. And don't forget the password says more of a Venn diagram. This is a huge overlap where both are true. And Fibromite says, I'm reminded of my grandmother's gold charm bracelet. It's a big clunky thing with a large gold charm, and everyone in the family was sure that it was insanely valuable. My aunt was furious when Nanny gave it to my mother before Nanny died. The thing is that my mom realized that it was a lot lighter in weight than she expected and had it valued. Turned out that the big thick links were all hollow, as were all of the charms. It's maybe worth 1/10 of what everyone had expected. I'm still not telling anyone that Mom has since given it to me to quote unquote make sure you give it to the eldest daughter. I'll still do with it what I do with every single piece of jewelry I get. I take multiple photos and I add it to the house insurance policy, which also covers while I'm wearing it. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Wanting to Alter My Grandmother's Engagement Ring for My Girlfriend Against My Family's Wishes? I'm a 30-year-old male, and I'm planning to propose to my girlfriend, Anna, a 28-year-old female of 4 years. And I love her so much, and I know that she's the one. My family adores her. My family has an heirloom that's been passed down, my late grandmother's engagement ring. It's a beautiful vintage ring from the 1950s. My mother offered it to me for the proposal, and I was incredibly honored and excited. To be clear, buying a new ring isn't even an option for us. We're on a very tight budget, saving for a house, and the cost of a new ring with a diamond of this quality would set us back for years. Using this heirloom is the only way that I can afford to propose right now. And honestly, the sentimental value means the world to me. Now, the problem is that the ring is a very traditional yellow gold with a classic diamond setting. Anna, for as long as I've known her, has a very specific style. She exclusively wears platinum or silver or white gold jewelry. She's mentioned in passing multiple times that yellow gold doesn't suit her skin tone and that she prefers more modern designs. She once taught me about color theory or something which I've forgotten now, but anyways, white or silver suits her. When I talked to Anna about the idea of using my grandmother's ring, she was touched by the sentiment, but I could tell that she was hesitant. She gently suggested that we could have the diamond reset into a new platinum band that was more her and suit her better. She said that it would be the perfect way to blend the old family diamond with the new life of ours together. I thought that this was a brilliant idea. It respects the history, but also makes the ring something that is truly ours and something that she will love wearing every day. This is what I want as well. So I brought this up with my mom, and man, she was horrified. She got very quiet and told me that altering the ring would be desecrating my grandmother's memory. She said that the ring is a piece of history and that its value is in its original form. She argued that if Anna truly loved me, she would love the ring exactly as it is. The conversation got heated, and I told her that my priority was my future wife's happiness, not a piece of metal. Here's where I might be the jerk. I had already taken the ring to a jeweler to get a quote and discuss designs before I even told my mom the plan. The jeweler confirmed that it would be easy to do. When this came out during the argument, my mom completely broke down. She called me ungrateful and said that I was letting Anna bulldoze my family's traditions. Now my entire family is giving me the silent treatment. My dad called and said that I put my mom in a terrible position and that I was being incredibly selfish. I feel like I'm stuck between the woman that I love and the family I love. I thought that I was finding a perfect compromise, but now everyone is furious with me. Am I the jerk for wanting to change a family heirloom to make my fiance happy? All right, folks, what do you think?
Yes, OP, you're the jerk. If you want to alter the ring and cannot afford to get her a ring now, save up for a ring. This ring has a lot of sentimental value to your family, and it was given to you with the intention to keep it in its original form. And you say that the sentiment means a lot to you, but then you seem to be willing to just completely destroy the piece and strip out the diamond. And, all I'm seeing here is that you and your partner want a cheap diamond and are willing to, destroy this priceless heirloom to do so. And while that may not be, since the ring is yours, it may be your legal right, I do not feel like that is morally right.
Why can OP not get a synthetic diamond or use a white sapphire is my question, because they can afford the platinum ring, apparently, right? Unless they're planning on selling the gold out of this ring to, finance the platinum, right? This whole thing doesn't sit well with me. The thing is that, OP claims that this would set them behind years in buying a house. But how much of a ring are they planning on buying, right?
Well, that's it. So a lot of people will upgrade their rings over time if they can't afford expensive rings right now. So get her a cheap ring to start with. And if you want to upgrade it some other time, you can always do that down the line. But from a visual inspection, unless you're friends with a bunch of jewelers, no one's going to be able to tell the difference between a lab-grown diamond and a mined diamond, or between a diamond and a white sapphire.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that this is one of those situations where OP needs to apologize to their mom. The mom, gave this ring in its form and pass it as a family heirloom. And the idea behind a family heirloom is that it stays as a intact. Like, I don't think most people would be like, oh, this family heirloom, I'm going to scavenge the diamonds from it, or, scavenge the gold from it. And I think that that's an unreasonable expectation on OP's part.
Yeah, well, I think this was in the comments and not in the original post, but at one point in time, OP is like, isn't it more important that something is being used? Is like, let's not tell this guy about museums, because like there are items in museums kept in their original state that no one is using. And it's not like having things in active use is always the most important thing.
Well, if OP is the only person who this ring would go to, there are no other family members or something like that. I mean, I can understand they're feeling a little bit more in that respect, but I still think that this is in poor taste to alter the ring. I don't know. I just think family heirlooms are family heirlooms, and certainly, like, if it was given to OP, they can do whatever they want to it, but they can't expect other people to like that, right?
Well, and also think about how you want your family to get along with your partner in the future. Like, even from a practical standpoint, if your family sees this as your partner, like, bulldozing family relationships and traditions, that's not going to go over very well. So it may be in your best interest just to get another ring to not destroy the family bonds.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. But folks, let's see what the Wheel of Judgment has to say. Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP's earned. You're the jerk and somehow doubled down.
I mean, it kind of works.
All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Will I Be a Jerk If I Impose a No Mobile Phones Policy at My Place? Hey, just some quick backstory. I'm a 27-year-old male, and I've always hated the way mobile phones have intruded on our daily lives. So for me, I've tried using it less and less, and I feel like it has improved my mental health, especially by removing social medias on it too. One of the biggest pet peeves of mine is when people bring out their phone in the middle of a conversation or dinner, and as soon as that happens, the entire part of the conversation just dies because it's hard to talk to somebody staring into their phone. I just find it to be rude that people in my generation haven't realized that it is, in fact, rude. I might be a bit extreme because these days I don't even like the phone being on the dinner table. With all this said, I do understand that sometimes you have to use the phone. So I'm not saying you can't ever use it either. Well, here's where I'm wondering if I'm the jerk. Would I be the jerk if I made anyone who visited my place be required to put their phone into a little box that's in the hallway? Basically, that if they need to use their phone, that they would have to go and use it in the hallway. Now, this is my place, so I can do whatever I want with it, but it would inevitably cause drama when people come to visit, because, as I've discovered, taking away someone's phone can be as difficult as taking away someone's drugs. Well, since it's just an everyday item, I'm, however, seen as the extreme one by most of my family. Also, if I do make a policy like this, I would also have to enforce it, which would mean that I would most likely have to kick someone out before they entered, since they don't want to put away their phone. Hence, where the drama comes in. Obviously, I would be open for the people to come and keep their phone on them depending on the circumstances, like if they are expecting an important call, etc. And I would also make it so that guests who are staying over can use it in the guest room too. Eventually, too, I would want the same rules apply to my own future kids, since I don't want them to have to deal with the poor mental health caused by these devices. Is this a reasonable request to have? All right, folks, what do you think?
I think that OP probably should rethink this. I understand that they don't like having people use the phone at the dinner table,
Yep.
or in conversation, but then just have a policy where you ask people to put their phones away for meals.
Yeah.
I think forcing people to give up their phones is a very drastic course of action, and it kind of opens you up to potential liability too. Because what if, someone in the house is untrustworthy and someone's phone gets stolen? People need their phones and have lots of important and personal information on their phones.
Yeah.
Like, I would not turn over my phone at someone's house. I would just be like, nope, I'm out of here. Not because I would necessarily be on my phone the entire time. I would be fine keeping it in my pocket if that's what's asked, but because I wouldn't necessarily trust the phone not to disappear.
Well, not to mention, like, there are ways of like hacking phones and
Mm-hmm.
other things, and like maybe OP isn't, able to do that, but the friends don't necessarily know what OP has planned, right? Or, not to kind of cross into that territory, but I think that if you want people to not have their phone, I mean, I think that the better approach is just to say, if when someone brings it out, you say, hey, I have a no phones policy. Could you please not use your phone while you're talking with me? It would mean a lot to me, or something like that, right? Come
Mm-hmm.
up with a script to basically politely ask someone to put their phone up if they're visiting with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I would really like it if you put your phone away, because I find that when people bring out their phones, it really stilts the conversation. I'm here visiting with you, not your phone. And like, some people are going to be put off by that, and they're not going to want to visit you. But yeah, I think that most people who understand that you kind of have this phone policy will respect that for the most part, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and sometimes people do, um, you know, have like a impulse to use a phone,
Mm-hmm.
and that can be a really difficult impulse to defeat, because like they're so integrated in people's lives now. But I think that OP would certainly be in the wrong to require people to give up their phones
Mm-hmm.
on entry to the house. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Why did the zombie put their head on the treadmill?
Oh, the zombie put their head on the treadmill because they were trying to exercise their
Yeah, they
brains.
wanted to train their brain.
Oh,
And it's National Train Your Brain Day. And it's also Indigenous Peoples
yeah,
Day.
please don't put your head on a treadmill.
Yeah, do not do that.
You won't train your brain that
no.
way. You'll probably just end up with a giant road rash on your forehead if you have the treadmill on. If you have the treadmill off, then I guess that it's just like
Just
putting your
napping
head
on the treadmill.
yeah, put your head on any other on any other surface, I suppose it would be like. So, yeah. And I have Mega Mint. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Manic Monday, folks. I hope your Monday is off to a great start. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on entitled requests.
When making requests, it's important to consider potential consequences.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye!